me, Sia or Cece, and for today's video, I'm doing a very exciting one. It is talking about the recent drama going on with one of my favorite bands, Black Veil Brides, as you can tell, because my walls and all of my other walls. So I am just going to be talking about some main drama points that come up and more or less my point of views. I will be spilling all the tea, except I'm drinking coffee out of that blue coffee cup or whatever. It's really cold, and because I was spending so much time on Tumblr, like getting all the drama points I want to talk about, and I don't even think I got all of them, but whatever. And I'm sorry for sounding like poop, because I am like so sick, probably because I was outside for 5 hours in -11 degrees Celsius weather for Pierce the Veil, and I was around my best friend who's just getting over a cold, so I'm dying. But let's get on with the video. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Jake's live stream. I didn't watch it myself, but I heard so much about what he said. Basically, what he said was that Ashley never played the bass. Ashley would play it and then he'd record it for the albums, and that it was all just, I guess, when they would, you know, play live, it would just be, they would have it playing on the speakers, which is like, oh my goodness. A lot of stuff I've seen is directed at Ashley and hating him, which I do not like. I understand Ashley isn't perfect, and people treat him like he's not human, like he's some all-being god who's perfect, and when he messes up, they get mad at him. And people were even getting mad at Ashley, like Ashley fans, aka myself, because I didn't, but someone I follow created a hashtag called Ashley Pretty Support Project, where you send the person a photo of you holding a little card, saying short little messages of kind words to Ashley. I did it right when it started like months ago. They're starting it back up again. And they don't like that. They're like, why are they doing that to Ashley? He pretty much lied to us for like 8 years. I'm like, yes, he didn't do everything that's truthful, but the reason why people started this is because when he does something wrong, you treat him like he's not human, and humans make mistakes. Okay? So I don't like the hate directed at him, because I understand he makes mistakes, but can we just leave it at that? Even though he's done wrong, he has helped me through so many tough times via his quotes, watching his interviews to make me feel better. Of course, it's sometimes BVBs music as a whole, but for me, I direct it more towards Ashley than anything, because he's my favorite band member ever, and I don't like this hate. And so yeah, Jake said that, and I know even Ina has been and Jake has been pretty salty at Juliet when they made that post on Ernie's account, their dog, about the Botox, and everyone's like, it's totally directed at Juliet, and I'm just like, it is. And then Ashley had his clapback, if you will, statement. You can tell by his statement, he deleted it. I will actually put it right here for you to, you know, read it if you haven't, because there's so many screenshots even though he deleted it. And with Ashley, what he says, you can tell that he's reading on the hate. He's very much so staying informed on what's going on. And I think it's very interesting with his points. One thing that I'm not sure about was when he describes Black Veil Brides as a business. Because I understand, yes, as bands get bigger, they become like a business. Because once they get big enough, you gotta manage things, manage money. There's all this money coming in from merch and stuff. And it's not like when you're just, you know, 5 guys playing together for fun. But I don't like how he made it sound like, almost like Black Veil Brides was just only a business. It may sound like kind of like, well, we're doing this for money, which I do not like that, because you have all these fans who do care about you, and you've helped them, even if you don't know it, through some pretty rough times for a lot of them. And I don't like that whole making it sound like it's only some business thing. When I know when people are hating Ashley about the bass thing, like literally, he originally was, well, first it's sketchy that he met Andy on Craigslist, because I mean Craigslist is pretty sketchy. But when he did this though, like, he wasn't doing it to join his band. He was literally going to steal players from his band for his own. And I think he can play the bass, he just don't really, I guess. I don't know. And so we did touch some very interesting points in that, and that's the one that like stuck out to me a lot. And when he said that the co-ownership was just Andy and him, which is interesting, I thought that it would be, like, people are saying I think it's all the members, which I think so, because I'm like, why would you two be the only ones that own the rights to the music? Yes, you were the two that kind of, I guess, put it in motion, but it should be equally all the members who are in it currently, which, like, that's what I think. I think it's so terrible that with Andy and Ashley owning some of the rights music-wise, that Andy can do whatever solo project, side project he wants, but Jake can't physically release music for his band Alonia, or however you pronounce it, which sounds really good, by the way, from the samples they've set out, which I think is just terrible. How come Andy's able to do this and not Jake? That's just unfair. Like, I don't know, that just bugs me. Like, what the hell, Andy? But, you know, I feel like a lot of things coming along with Black Veil Rides in general and the members is unfair, and it's interesting that we haven't actually heard from all the members. I'm waiting, honestly, for Cece and Jinx to say something. I'm not sure if they will. Maybe they won't. They'll just lay low. So we'll see, you know? And the next one is more or less with Juliet and Andy. Haha. I know what you are all thinking. I do not like Juliet. Rip! I'm waiting for all the people that like Juliet to be like, you're Juliet Sims hater, you're trash. I mean, I am trash, but that's besides the point. I don't mean to dislike her. Like, I don't hate her. I don't know her as a person, so I can't physically really dislike her or not. I just don't like the action she's done. The first one I'm going to talk about, because this is still so very relevant, when she hit Andy, because that's abuse. That's right. And it bugs me so much when fans are like, Andy and Juliet are goals. Oh, and I'm like, how is a woman who hits her husband goals? Even if she only did it once, just because she says sorry does not mean that it's okay. How could you romanticize a relationship where even if it happens once, someone hits their partner, and how is that goals? And people are saying, by the way, sometimes Andy acts around her that she could have hit him more times. So it's completely plausible, but I'm not going to like form an opinion if she does or not, because I do not know them. You do not know what goes on behind closed doors. And that's why I don't like when people call relationships goals. Just because you take 2 Snapchat selfies together does not mean that you're goals, because you don't know what happens behind the Snapchat, behind the photos. It's like a photo I saw on Tumblr or something, an illustration where they looked happy and then it showed behind them and it was like the husband or whatever. It could be any gender, of course, that hit. One of them was holding the other's arm in a very like angry way, so it was like kind of showing that they look cute and like they're goals, but they're not, because you don't know what goes on. And people say that, like, you know, you should just stop talking about it, because whatever, it happened, it's done. But I don't think we should stop talking about it. I mean, it's not the nicest thing to talk about, but there's people who are uneducated in the way that thinking it's okay, and it doesn't matter if she's drunk or whatever. It's just not okay on any standards to hit your significant other, whether you're a guy or a girl, or you identify as something else like non-binary, agender, gender fluid, etc. That's just not okay. And that's my views on this, and I know it's controversial, and a lot of people will be like, no, that's false. Andy and Juliet are still goals, and I'm just like, you won't think that, honey. Go romanticize abuse over there. Bye. Oh my goodness, I'm very sassy today, apparently. The next one is, Andy being a piece of shit to his fans. And I'm talking about the situation when he called them sociopaths. I don't remember exactly why he did it. It might have been to do with the whole plane incident, but that's not okay on any standards. Why would you call your fans sociopaths? Like, your fans are meant to build you up. If you didn't have any fans, you would be nowhere. So I don't think it's right to treat them that poorly. And I know Chris, his father, apparently has also been saying some not nice things to fans, which I just think is like, really, Chris? The last point I have on this is Scientology. Yes, I know. And this is more towards with Juliet, apparently in Scientology. Someone actually sent someone to ask on one of the blogs I get the drama from, being like, how do you know? Did someone say something? Which I was so glad they asked, because I'm like really curious on if she actually said it. But apparently her father talks about it a lot, being about how she's in Scientology. People are saying that Andy and her's marriage is a contract one, because apparently there's marriage records that came up from them from 2012, which means that, you know, they would be breaking up after 5 years, which I'm like, oh my goodness. I really hope if they are in Scientology that Andy is realizing that that is not something we want to get into. I know I've watched a few episodes of Leah Redmune or whatever, Scientology and the Aftermath, because my parents love that show, and especially when this was coming about and watching it, I'm like, this is a terrible cult to be in, and I really hope, if it is true, that he just gets out of it, because you shouldn't be in Scientology. I know they promise things, but you're not going to get what you delivered, and it's terribly hard to get out. And people are saying maybe, hopefully, if it's true, he is going to be getting out of it, and well, people are saying more of getting out of his relationship with Juliet. And if that's the only way to get out of Scientology, then sure, do it, because they say that because he's spending a lot more time with his parents. And I hope, if that's all true, that he's doing that and he's realizing that Scientology is terrible and you should not be in it. So that was my kind of spilling tea drama, even though I was drinking coffee and I never actually took a sip from this. I was gonna, but I was too busy talking, and then the camera cut out. So I was like, gotta remember where it's at so I can go refilm, you know. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next video. Bye!